Hello and welcome to today's masterclass. Right off the bat, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me. Let's get started with something that we can all agree on, and that is the state of our world. For the last couple of years, we've been existing in a real state of chaos. Suffering is a real thing that is happening to humanity. Division has even the closest of humans no longer speaking. Hatred is rippling through on every single level. Mental illness is skyrocketing, and chronic illnesses are simply not going away anytime soon. With all that being said, I have a real quick question for you, and I just want you to take note, maybe even write it down on what you're thinking when I ask you this. What are you contributing to the state of humanity? Often when I ask this question, people get a little defensive and they think, what does that mean? Or, I will donate to charities when I have money. I'll do this when I can. And I want you to know that that's not at all what I'm talking about at all. I am speaking about you as a human being. You are presented with hundreds, if not thousands of choices every single day that is going to aid in the healing of humanity or contribute to hurting humanity. Where do your choices lie? What are you doing? All right, so let me introduce myself. I'm Amanda Riley, and I've been in the industry for nearly 2 decades. I started out as a personal trainer out in Seattle, Washington, and I thought, hey, I'm 23 years old. I'm going to be working in a gym, helping people work out. And with my first week, I realized how important it was going to be for someone's mental state to be focused and on task for us to get through the workout I had planned. If someone came through with their shoulders rounded over or they had a bad day, the likelihood of making it through every exercise I had planned was limited. And then at the same token, if I had someone bouncing off the walls as they came in, I was going to have to add to the workout. So this mind-body connection was very easy for me to see. Now, when I started training, they start talking about food. So I was giving my clients ideas of what they should eat pre-workout and post-workout. And in this process of diving into food and understanding even that much, I was exposed to some of the things that they were putting into our food supply. So this is really where I got started with the rabbit hole. And, the United States is allowing things in our food that people around the world are not allowed to because they know what these chemicals will do to the human body. The same thing is happening in our personal products, our cleaning products, our medical world, our psychology world as well. And then even our entertainment world is being filled with toxins and chemicals and frequencies that alter the body's ability to function appropriately. When you're like, wait a minute, the music and entertainment world, Amanda, what are you talking about? When you start learning more and more, you realize that there are frequencies and vibrations that we can exist on that alter how the cells of the human body are functioning. So we'll get to that. So hang on to that thought process. And then the question is, why are they allowing this? Why are we allowing toxins and chemicals that alter bodily functions? Why are we allowing music that carry frequencies that lower our vibrations? Why are we allowing entertainment? Why are we going to movies that ripple fear through our body? For profit. For profit. So understanding that is absolutely essential. But the next question is, because I'm a solution seeker, is, okay, so we've identified a problem. We're being poisoned from the inside out. Is there a solution, and how do we heal from this? And the only answer that is in the simplest form is that we heal at the cellular level. The healthier each individual cell is in your body, the healthier you are as a whole. Now, to understand cellular healing, you have to understand how cells work. So there's some information out there that isn't exactly accurate, but I want to direct you, and all of this information, I will put it in the information below that you can hunt down these books, you can hunt down these resources, and you can get an idea of studying this yourself. I don't want you to take my opinion. I want you to have access to the information because this is factual information to the greatest amount of knowledge that we have so far. And this information actually disproves what we are being told at the masses, but denied on the other end. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Dr. Bruce Lipton wrote The Biology of Belief. Within this book, he shared his work that happened in the 1970s as he was working at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where he was curious about what cells are actually capable of doing. So he cloned 3 cells. He put 1 in a petri dish that would contribute to a brain environment, 1 to a muscle, 1 to a bone. What he discovered on these 3 cloned cells is that whatever environment they were put into, that's what they turn into. He was able to repeat this experiment over and over and over and over. And then he was asked to leave the university because they weren't going to alter the medical world based on this information because all of the textbooks would have to be rewritten. So the conclusion of his work is that we are not a victim to our genes. That is something that the medical world has been able, and Big Pharma has been able to use to manipulate people and to get them into the system, if you will. But once you understand that you are not a victim to your genes, and that is a belief that needs to be reprogrammed if you do not understand that, you are not a victim to your genes. Your genes contribute to about 5% of who you are. DNA does not determine what a cell is. The environment around the cell says what DNA is going to be activated. So that's fact. You're not a victim to your genes. This information is being adapted by many healers and many doctors that are here to heal the human body, to stimulate healing within the body. I'm not here to teach you how to heal with drugs. I am here to open your mind to the fact that your human body is capable of healing from anything. Now, we have 30 to 40-ish trillion human cells that exist in our human body, and they communicate with each other. They use resources. Nobody takes more than they need. Nobody hangs on to stuff that they don't need. All these cells work together for the human body to stay in function. So, belief number 1, you are not a victim to your genes. You are a product of your decisions. That on top of this, so Bruce was able to look at this work and be like, okay, we got cells. And what's really crazy is if I talk really nice to them and they're in a loving environment and they have everything they need, they actually expand and light up. Well, that's cool. But if they don't have everything they need, and if I actually say like dirty, dark thoughts to them, speak hatred, tell them they're not going to succeed, whatever, they actually shrinken and darken. Well, that's interesting. So positive love will expand and lighten up, and hatred shrinkens and darkens. Got it. Okay. In addition to that work, Sue Morter was able to find that not only did these cells light up and expand, they actually gave off an alkaline ash. And the cells over here would shrink and darken and give off an acidic ash. Now, this is a fact that you need to download to be able to make it through the rest of this masterclass. Think of the pH scale back in junior highs, you know, like we've got the acidic is 0 to 6.9, and then neutral is 7, and then you got 8 to 14 is alkaline. The founder of cancer, the dude in 1934 that founded cancer, was like, to kill these cancer cells, all we need is oxygen alkaline state. That's it. So cells can't survive in an alkaline oxygenated state. All right, cool. You know what else was discovered off that? No disease can survive in an alkaline oxygenated state. Nothing. So now you look at what's happening in our world. The Western diet is very, very acidic. Coffee, dairy, red meat, sodas, the charged waters, alcohol, beer, processed food, all that crap is acidic. All of it's acidic. All of it feeds cancer. All of it creates an environment that cancer can survive. On the flip side, Fruits, vegetables, things that come from earth are alkaline and actually aid the body in creating an environment that disease can actually exist. And just as a random throw out in there, if the New York City had a bunch of issues with their garbage and the rats coming in. Like, this is a conversation that people know that there's a lot of rats in New York. Now, the question is, did the rats come in before the garbage was there? Or did the rats come in because the garbage supplies an environment in which they live? If you clean up the garbage, where do the rats live? So, understanding that if you clean up the environment, what can be there is affected. So viruses, bacteria, and fungi, certain ones love an acidic state. So if you're dumping acidic state on you and you're thinking horse shit fucking thoughts all goddamn day, you are going to be looking at an acidic environment that houses an environment for viruses and diseases to exist. So, fact, register that. If you want to debate that with me in any form or fashion, please read The Belief in Biology by Dr. Bruce Lipton and The Energy Codes by Dr. Sue Morter. Read them both. And if you still want to debate with me, absolutely, let's sit down and talk about it. I will gladly take you through, as long as those are your backgrounds of information. You have anything you want to share with me, I would love to look at it and have this discussion with you. So, just as the physical body breaks, like if we have a broken bone, we know that we need to set that bone and allow healing to facilitate. How does this healing facilitate? Cell by cell. The human body heals cell by cell. That is very, 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 very important to register that cellular healing is equivalent to human healing. All right, so just as the physical body has injuries, the mental body, the spiritual body, and the emotional body can have injuries. In the book, The Body Keeps a Score, what was discovered was that some of the emotional and mental and spiritual injuries can actually manifest in the physical form, because emotions essentially are just energy in motion. So if you let emotions get trapped in your body because you stuff them with food, you stuff them because they're not healthy to administer, they're not what someone else wants to see, you're not worthy of your word, you don't think you're good enough to have this opinion, and you just keep stuffing these emotions, what happens? Energy gets stuck and physical ailments come about. There are endless texts that support this statement. And as the medical world is under attack, mindfulness, yoga, meditation are all things that are coming into play that will help. Why? Because you have mental injuries. When The Body Keeps a Score, what he discovers and uncovers through decades of research, another 16-hour Audible book, which if you have to rewind it as much as I do, it turns into about a 40-hour Audible book, is these injuries can inhibit the body's ability to release what you need to not have mental triggers, to not have social triggers, to not get so jazzed up and out of control. So it's releasing the energy from these traumas, releasing the emotion from these traumas so that you're no longer triggered by them. Because what happens in an emotional trigger, or PTSD, that's what we're going to dive into right now, PTSD. In a PTSD environment, a trigger will cause the body to react the same way it did in that exact moment in time. That injury has made it impossible for your body to do what it needs to do to return it back to homeostasis. So telling someone to just get over it is really insensitive and really ignorant. And if you're watching this right now, this masterclass, when you know better, you do better. So telling people to shake it off when you have no idea what the history is an ignorant statement, and I invite you to gather more data to help them. Okay, so how do I help them? There's many, many ways. Of course, talk therapy is one. EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, is tapping. Tapping is one. Acupuncture, energy healings, somatic healing. So it's not just beating the trauma, like just keep talking about it. The more you talk about it, then it's no longer going to happen. It is integrating the emotional and physical and spiritual response with the body while working through the trauma, which is beautiful, and it comes in the body, keeps a score. There's breathing techniques, there's meditations, and a very controversial subject that people don't want to talk about just yet, but more and more data is coming out, is hallucinogenics can help with this as well. So keep your mind open to that, because I'm telling you, the information is going to unfold in a way that you're going to be like, that's nothing that I've been told over the last 40 years of my life. So knowing all of this, I look at this system right now and I think, okay, so the state of our world is mass sufferings, undeniable. Like, there are so many people suffering. Division like none before, and it's religion, politics, guns, abortion. Now we got vax versus unvax. It just doesn't stop on what the divisions are, right? Mental illnesses are skyrocketing. They are not getting better. They are not getting better. Mental illness is on the rise. The chronic illnesses are on a rise. Chronic illnesses alone cost the United States $4 trillion a year. And 70% of them are completely preventable by daily lifestyle choices. 70%. 70%. That means out of the 135 billion-ish people that are suffering from chronic illnesses, about 95% or 95 million of them could be completely relieved from their chronic illnesses by different daily lifestyle choices. Why aren't they making these daily different lifestyle choices? Lots of things to go there. But as I sit back and I look, it is what's happening with the world. Undeniable. The stuff I just named is undeniable. It is there. It is happening. The data supports it. There is nobody on any side of the fence that doesn't believe in any of that happening. Truth. What we're doing isn't working. So then I'm like, okay, so this isn't working. There has to be a solution, right? There's always a solution. We have not been put on this planet to suffer. That is number one belief I have in my system. Like, I am not here to suffer. I am here to expand. I am here to learn. I am here to grow. I am here to love. I am here to connect. I am not here to suffer. There has to be a solution. What could possibly be a solution? Which kept drawing me back to what people love to label as alternative solutions. Yet, alternative solutions have been around since the beginning of time, and it wasn't really until 1900s that we decided that we needed synthetic drugs in our body to heal these ailments. So I'm over here like, all right, it's not working. What else is out there? Which introduced me to a ton of doctors. Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Sue Morter, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Huge advocate of Dr. Joe Dispenza. We'll talk about him a little bit. Vianna Stibel with the theta healing. And then you got the medical medium. You got endless human beings that are like, how can we heal the body? How can we heal the body? How can we be better? So, as you start diving into alternative methods, the terms energy, vibration, and frequency are pretty common. What does all that mean? Well, number one, what does the energy mean? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. All the energy in the planet is already here. We can't create it. We can't destroy it. It simply changes form. However, the simplest form of energy that we have found to date is masculine energy and feminine energy. Now, people love to put masculine energy with men and feminine energy with female, but the reality of it is that we have a perfect balance in our body, and each person is individual in what their perfect balance is. It is understanding and creating the perfect masculine and feminine body in yourself, which is where people who are like super feminine men, like, you just carry more feminine energy. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean anything's broken with you. It just means that you carry more feminine energy than other men do. Masculine women, like, oh, the butches, oh, whatever. All that really means is that they carry more masculine energy than feminine. What are traits of masculine and feminine energy? Just last sneering. So we got traits of masculine and feminine energy. Masculine energy, protective, supportive, secure. This is where responsibility comes from. This is where accountability comes from. This is, I have this area to protect. And then feminine energy is creative and nurturing and intuitive and related to the body. So, okay, I'm working on this creation here, and someone's got my back. So feminine energy is creating, masculine energy is protecting. That's it. You can carry any balance in your body. That's completely fine. You can be a super, super masculine female, and you can be a super, super feminine male, and it doesn't matter because you have a perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy in your body. Next is vibration. And just breaking this down, it's how fast things are moving. And since we know that we are energy, and we know that basically we're all a bunch of atoms just put together, right? Vibration comes to how fast things are moving. So if they're a low vibration, they're moving slower. Low vibration things have characteristics. If they're high vibration, they're moving faster. And higher vibration carries, like there's higher vibration emotions and there's lower vibration emotions, thoughts, all of that. Then frequency, I just want you to think of a radio station. Okay, so if you want to listen to country music, if you live in the Midwest or like this area, I'm in Wisconsin right now. If I wanted to listen to country music, I would turn on 102.1. If I turned on 98.5, I would get music, but it wouldn't be country. So the right frequency. This is language that we're going to carry through this, okay? So emotions, they're simply energy in motion. That is that, energy in motion. And if you have a physical ailment, you have had energy end up stuck, stagnant, or blocking. So how can we move that out? So one of the most well-known in the alternative worlds of thinking about things is Louise Hay. She was not a doctor. She was merely a person who really fucking cared. She worked through her own stuff. There's a documentary about her. Go ahead and watch it, but Heal Your Life. And she was able to take subconscious beliefs and attach them to physical ailments and then create affirmations to help you heal from the physical ailments that have happened from your emotional responses, or your subconscious responses. So that piece is pretty huge. So in the very beginning, I talked about connecting the mind body. It was very easy as clients came through. It's like, okay, I can tell, like, you're normal. I can get through this workout. You're hyped up. I need to add more. You are down in the dumpster. There's a good possibility we might not work out at all, and you just might need a little talk therapy. I don't know. Maybe we'll go for a walk. I don't know. Like, it was so one-to-one on everything that was happening. So the mind body was super easy. Once I was introduced to Louise Hay, I was like, okay, so there's the emotional, there's the subconscious, there's more to it than just mind and body. It also comes in soul, spirit, energy. What is it? Okay, so when I am going to talk about soul or spirit, I want to define my spirituality to give you some insight. Okay, so I was raised as a Catholic, so I do have that upbringing. I am very aware. My mom is definitely one who promotes, reads, and sends me Bible verses on a regular basis. So I am familiar. I understand. I comprehend. I do believe that religion is a man-made construct that has put rules on humans to manipulate and control them. I think that there are beautiful aspects from every religion. I believe 100% that Jesus Christ walked this earth, that he was an incredible healer, that he was here to show that humans are capable of a vibration and a frequency that allows healing by touch, that allows unconditional love, that allows all the things that Jesus was. That would be a Christ vibration to me. I look at Christ as an example, not my savior, which is where conflicts in Christianity come, because my belief system is centered around the fact that we all are of God, which means we all come from God, which means we all have God within us, and we have the ability to hit Christ-like ascension and walk like Christ through raising our vibration. I wish I could say that I've met it. I probably still wouldn't be on earth if I have met the Christ vibration, because my work here would be done. So understanding that unconditional love is vital. I believe that our souls are here to learn. We are here to learn, expand, and grow, whether we have one trip as a soul to the human planet or multiple trips. I have no idea. I don't know. Nobody's going to fucking know until we're dead anyway. So fighting over this is ridiculous. I'm just telling you where some of my basis comes from. So the soul is here to learn. I think that we make agreements in soul land or heaven as to what we're going to embark on down here, of being what lessons we're going to learn, what kind of things we're going to do for humanity, but we don't know how it's going to play out. So then once we get here, we look at it, it's like, oh my God, why this happened to me? Oh my God, I'm so miserable. Oh my God, this happened. It's like, well, you signed up for the journey, and you have a choice of learning lessons with ease and grace, and that is being connected to spirit, that is listening to your intuition, that is being mindful, that is slowing down, taking care of your physical body, taking care of your mental body, taking care of your emotional body, that you can connect to lessons with ease and grace, or you can choose to not do any of this stuff and have lessons come hit you hard and fast. And trust me, I've had my shared lessons of hard and fast, so I'm not sitting over here saying that I've lived this perfect life. I'm saying that once I realized how important my mindfulness was, my emotional body was, my mental body was, my spiritual body was, I was able to transform my life, is simply how I'm speaking from experience. So when I say soul, that is what I'm speaking on, the energetic body that has made its way to the human form. And what I absolutely love, is Bruce Lipton shared this, is physics defines this field around a human body as being invisible moving forces that influence the physical world. And then religion defines spirit as invisible moving forces that influence the physical world. So it's like religion and science are starting to merge, which I think is wonderful and brilliant and awesome. But I also look at understanding that overall wellness is the mind, body, and soul being like a three-legged stool. If one is weak or broken, are you going to sit on the stool? Probably not, because it's going to fall over, right? So making sure that each part is taken care of, which is why the Blueprint to Wellness was designed. After nearly 2 decades in the industry, I have seen people start and quit, had mass success, have limited success, and then regress back. And the question of why always comes through. What's the solution? How can I fix this? And through all of this time, I have acquired many different tools and attended seminars and trainings and books. I love to read. I love to read. If you want my book list, I will happily turn that over, because quite honestly, you could gather all the data that I had. I mean, it took me 2 decades to do it, and I'm willing to offer in a condensed version of like 6 hours of here's all the information that you need to make a launching point off of where we're at, is really what the Blueprint to Wellness is, right? It's just decades into hours. Decades into hours is what we're breaking down. It's literally that simple. So when we look at these things, the Blueprint to Wellness, it's like, okay, so you have to understand things. In this masterclass, it gave you plenty of insight of different aspects that we had going on. I gave you a elementary, maybe a 100 version class of energy, vibration, and frequency. In the Blueprint to Wellness, we dive in a little bit deeper, because understanding vibration, energy, and frequency are extremely important when it comes to aiding yourself in health. And then when you can start noticing these things and noticing things within your body that comes from how you energetically feel and understanding those emotions, it's absolutely essential in moving forward. So that's the first section. So there's 4 90-minute sections that we break down. So you got the first section of energy, frequency, and vibration. Let's talk about that. Let's understand that. Let's really get a grasp on what that is. Because once you have that hammered in of what has been proven, what is scientifically there, but not being shared. This part is vital. Like where your emotions play in, where your thought processes play in, how you can change the vibration of your frequency, like literally like that, is essential. And that's what's taught in that first section. And that's kind of the groundwork for the rest of the thing, Blueprint to Wellness, because I don't believe there was 7.5 billion, maybe 8 billion people where we're floating at right now, people on the planet, that there's one way to wellness. But there are basic, fundamental biological necessities that the human body must have to be healthy and strong, hence the Blueprint to Wellness. You know, after the 2 decades in the industry, I had so many people come to me that have quit and failed and quit and failed and quit and failed. And then I have my people who have been successful. So it's like, who are these people that have been successful? What have you done? What have you integrated? How have you used? And it is integrating all of this information together. And it's simple information, you guys. It is not hard. It is not this crazy ass stuff. Is it easy? Like, simple and easy are 2 different things. So it's simple things to implement, but you have to be disciplined. You have to love yourself. You have to know that you're worthy of feeling good. You have to know that you're worthy of accepting a higher vibration that allows your body to give off an alkaline ash around those cells. Like, these are the things like that this will come from, okay? And the next part, 7.5 billion people on the planet. There's not one way to wellness, but these basic biological human necessities are what I call the big 3. And if you follow the big 3, everything else is gonna fall in line. So what are the big 3? As a reminder, hydration. Your body's 70% water, and people who don't drink water can't be healthy. Every disease on the planet stems from dehydration. Every single one. You have to drink pure water. And people are like, I know. Well, if you fucking know, then why aren't you doing it? Because 70% of Americans are dehydrated. So stop telling me you know, and let's break down what is inhibiting you from doing what you need to do, because that's the bottom line. What do you have? A subconscious brain that is holding you back from drinking water, that is holding you back from eating the nutrients that your body needs, that's holding you back from movement? Okay, if you do, let's release it. Like, you have the ability, the control, the opportunity to remove beliefs that no longer serve you, to put in beliefs that do. And there is no way around being healthy if you don't drink water, if you don't have nutrients in your body, and you don't move. But I've already said, you don't have to exercise. There are a bazillion ways to do things. So that is the big 3. Here's what your body needs. Here are maybe solutions you haven't thought about. You know, so often people sit down with me and they start telling me about their problems, and I was like, okay, I have solutions. Do you want to hear them? And they're like, of course I do. And I start kicking them out, and they're like, oh my God, I never thought about that. So simple. That's so simple. That's so simple. Yes. But it does require discipline. That is the thing. It does require motivation to feel better. It does require you loving yourself. It does require you giving compassion to yourself. It does require you loving yourself enough to do this. So we got energy, vibration, and frequency. A 101, I mean, I gave you a very basic understanding. In the 90-minute section that we spent in the Blueprint to Wellness, we dive into that. I give you so much more evidence. I give you so much more opportunity to understand what those things mean, so you can start integrating them into your life and understanding where they are. Okay, and then we got the big 3: drink water, eat nutrients, move your body, womp, womp, womp. Everybody talks about that. Yeah, everybody talks about it, yet we're chronically malnourished and we're chronically dehydrated and nobody's fucking moving. So it's something that needs to be handled and addressed. So let's get you feeling good enough to honor yourself, to make sure that those biological necessities are being made for your body. Next up, that 3-legged stool, mind, body, soul. If you are doing the big 3, the communication between the mind, body, soul becomes much, much, much easier. And eventually, whatever area you ignore will emerge, and it will call for your attention. So instead of waiting for there to be a problem, how about you set the stage for solutions to be integrated? Okay, and that's the Blueprint to Wellness teaches you that, because we are a conscious mind that is connected to all of humanity, and we have a connection to Source, God, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, whatever your source of love, light, and energy is, because religion is a social and construct, a man-made construct, and every religion on the planet comes down to love and serve. We are here to love ourselves and other human beings unconditionally, and we are here to serve. We have divine gifts that have been placed within us that integrate into the tribe around us to make sure that we can contribute and continue to amplify. You know, we've spent so much time and so much effort in strengthening our weaknesses. Oh, where are you weak? Build that. Fuck that shit. Where are you strong? Let's rock out where you're strong, because what you need to do is surround yourself with humans that fill in your weaknesses, because guess what? Your strengths fill in their weaknesses, and now the tribe, the give and take begins to happen. Not, keep beating yourself up because you're weak here. Keep beating yourself up because you're a failure here. No! What the fuck do you have that is vital to humanity? Awaken that and throw it down, and let's get going on it. That is where we're at, okay? So vibration, frequency, and energy, boom. The big three, boom. Putting mind, body, and soul in connection, because we have a connected mind and a divine human body that has an integrated energetic spirit that science, physics, and religion define as the same thing, an invisible field that has an impact in the physical world. Those two definitions are the same, which means that science and religion are starting to merge, which is beautiful and awesome. So let's get your mind, body, and soul in clear communication so you can get these messages. So when you have an ache or pain, you can be like, this is what it is. When you have something that isn't quite flowing right, it's like, okay, I've got energy from my body that I need to release. Emotion, energy in motion, which means I have an emotion from my body that I need to release. How do I get this out of my body so I can integrate the lesson? Okay, and then the last piece of the blueprint to wellness is living a life with love, compassion, and grace. I literally love this shit so much. I tattoo it on my arm on my mother's handwriting. So from 2014 through 2019, I owned a wellness center in Woodbury, Minnesota. This was my take home to everybody. This was how my dog, Spike, wants to say hello. This is Spike, the 3-pound Yorkie, who has taught me love, compassion, and grace beyond. So this love, compassion, and grace, people, I pounded it home for my people when they came to my studio. Give people love, compassion, and grace. You know, you have no idea what someone's going through. For example, I'm a really good driver, but if I make a mistake on the road, or if I do something to someone, I cut somebody off, or I miss an exit, or something happens on the road, I'm distracted, I made a mistake. I know this about myself. I know I'm not an asshole. I didn't purposely cut that person off because I'm a prick. That person was cut off because I was in my head and I wasn't totally focused on what I should be doing. That is the only time I make a mistake on the road, because I'm not an asshole. I drive with respectfully. I am a good driver, but if I make a mistake, I'm like, ooh, shit. Sorry about that. So being aware that if you're able to recognize that within yourself, that you can give other people love, compassion, and grace. In another instance that is so impactful in my life, and I always go back to this, is when I was working at a bar in Woodbury as well. There was a gentleman who came in and sat down at lunch, had some chicken tenders and a Coors Light. How the fuck I remember that, I have no idea. Chicken tenders and a Coors Light, eats his lunch, still a little bit of beer left. He goes to the bathroom, and then he's gone. And I was like, well, that's weird. And my manager's like, you didn't take a credit card. What is wrong with you? Why didn't you take a credit card? And all of a sudden I'm being condemned for not taking a credit card. And I was like, just so we're on the same page, I never take credit cards at lunch because I'm not worried about business people walking out on me. After 8 p.m., any night of the week, absolutely. Afternoon, never. You have to take your credit card. You're going to have to pay for this. All right, I'll pay for it. But I still didn't think he did it on purpose. A couple hours later, he comes back into the restaurant with his credit card in hand, head hanging low, and he said, I am so sorry that I walked out on you. Today, my wife was diagnosed with cancer. They wanted to run more tests. So she told me to go get something to eat and have a beer, and she'd call me when the test results were in. And she called me while I was in the bathroom, and I walked right out the door. I'm so sorry. That right there. You have no idea what people are going through. Are there assholes on the planet who are intentionally going to disrupt your world because they suck? Sure. Are you really going to assume that everybody is an asshole that's here to fuck up your world? How does that feel? How does that resonate with you? Or are you going to be like, he cut me off on the road. I don't know, maybe his dog died. Maybe his wife fell off a ladder. Maybe her mom's in the hospital. Maybe her kid fell off the jungle gym. I have no idea. And I'd much rather say, And this is what I do where my daughter's like, Mom, I'm like, okay, for you to be driving like this on the road, may love, light, and peace and the angels protect you and get you to wherever you need to be safely. That's what I do. And I release them because that feels better than allowing the vibration of being pissed off. Okay? I got enough anger looking at what the hell is going on in humanity. I certainly do not need to get angry when I don't know what people's actual intentions are. You know, and that's the other piece about having love, compassion, and grace, not only for others, but for yourself. And having it for yourself is something that I've just recently learned and just recently really, truly implemented, which is where the final wrap of the blueprint to wellness could come from. You know, when I had the wellness center, it was, this is love, compassion, and grace. Do this for other humans. Do this for other humans. Do this for other humans. And it was always do this for other humans. 5 years into the wellness center, my body started falling apart. My thyroid was shot. They told me I had to go on medication for that. I wasn't sleeping. If I went to a therapist, they probably would have told me that I was clinically depressed, and I could have probably gotten some medication for it. I was struggling to get out of bed. I was struggling with really every aspect of my life. And the realization of like, I want to help people, but I'm so fucking tired, I can't even do it anymore, made me realize that the love, compassion, and grace that I give to other people now needed to be turned to me. Because I know that I don't intentionally ever hurt anybody. I know that if I respond in anger, then an apology is going to be needed, because I am more responsible of a human being than to hurt another human being with my anger or other emotions that I can't handle. The other thing that I am very, very aware of, and I hope that this is the memo that you take home if you choose not to enroll in the Blueprint to Wellness, which I would really, really, really encourage you to do, especially with the state of humanity that we're in, is that love, compassion, and grace piece, that's a gift from God. That is what God is delivering to us. We don't have to walk around tortured. We don't have to walk around in pain. We don't have to suffer. None of these things need to exist. We don't have to walk around with chronic illnesses. We don't have to walk around with autoimmune responses. We don't have to walk around with mental illness. We don't have to walk around with this division. You know, humanity is ready for a change, and a mass change. And just as I know that Jesus walked this planet and taught millions of people valuable lessons, the true Christ ascension comes with love, compassion, and grace for others and yourself. So with that, I hope that you have plenty of valuable tools that have you thinking about this. You know, you can look up energy, frequency, and vibration. You can look up, you know, the big three: drinking water, getting nutrients in your body, and having movement be a part of your everyday life. You can look up the mind, body, soul connection. You can look up how to walk a life with love, compassion, and grace. You can absolutely do that. I'm simply putting decades of information into a matter of hours for you, because this is a launching pad. You build that solid foundation and you can step into anything off of this, literally anything. And once you totally engulf love, compassion, and grace, peace, light, and unity as well, your world will transform. So I would love to have you be a part of my program. It is offered in a 1-week series or 4-week series that are 90-minute sections, or a 1-day masterclass. So just click on the link and you can see the options of classes that you can enroll in. If you have questions, please reach out. You can get me at amandareilly@gmail.com, Instagram, Facebook. I am on there. Please just reach out, ask questions. I will help you however I can help you. There's lots and lots and lots of information out there, and if we can simplify and boil it down of, let's get your human body as healthy as possible, because if 30 to 40 trillion cells can make sure that you're healthy and functioning and moving and operating, doing everything that you need to do because it has the tools that it needs within it, 8 billion people fueling their body with what it needs, understanding energy, vibration, and frequency, and implementing the mind-body-soul connection and walking with love, compassion, and grace can flip the state of humanity quickly. Not slowly, quickly, very, very quickly. So once again, I want to thank you very much for your time. You got plenty of nuggets that I plugged in this masterclass, but if you want more and you are ready to dive in, the Blueprint to Wellness is your answer. And you just have to click on the link to find out when the class options are offered. I thank you so much for your time. And with that, I sign off.